welcome to another lesson. I'm Brett Papa, and today we are going to do literally the sweet and sour minor and major pentatonic, and what happens when you stir them up and mix them together. You get freaking sonic culinary awesomeness. Assuming you're a sonic chef or whatever. But anyways, if you guys like the video you're going to see, make sure to thumbs up, like the video, subscribe, and click the bell, because that's the way you get notified when the new videos come out. You guys are awesome. Okay, so let's check this out. Now, we're going to use A, both major and minor. So check it out. We got A minor first. We're going to use this chord progression. Nice and out of tune, so it, sounds like rock and roll, baby. Okay, so now if I were to use minor, A minor pentatonic, lick like that would totally work. So I'm sliding in all on 5th and 7th frets, A, D, and then I'm gonna grab the 3rd, and then I'm just going to go 7D, A, a little love, you can walk it down. Alright, so now, if you walk down 3 frets, so from A to here, if you use that exact same scale shape like this, but now down here, you're in A major. Okay, so that's more of this sweet sounding scale. So check it out. I just went from position 1 to position 2. But check it out, when I hit that note, that's more like what this note is in minor pentatonic. You got to resolve the scale in a different spot, but it gives that real melodic, almost southern rock, country sort of sound, whether you like country or not, like Allman Brothers, Skinner, all sorts of, different kinds of band use major, including a lot of pop, right? So we got, so all again on the 2nd and 4th frets, we're going to slide up, A string, D string, and then I'm just going to walk it into the 2nd position. What you can do is a simple lick like that, 4 to 6. And then, now the reason those licks sound good is because you're really targeting the notes of the A chords here, and when I bend this one up, here. Okay, so I went A chord, right? Those notes. Then I slide up here, A chord. I'm going to tune up 1 second. And we're back, folks. Okay, so usually you do that before you start a YouTube video, but we're all friends here. This is what happens. Okay, so again, when I bend up this 7th fret E, it gets me into this A chord right here, and this is the 3rd of the A chord. All right, same note as this. So that's more of a sweet kind of sound. So again, let's do the minor. Watch this trick. Love that one. Steve Lukather, right? So you bend it up, 7th fret, 8th, back to 7th, root. Okay, so those are great sounds, right? You can use, different positions. That's the 4th position of minor, right? Those frets, so 15, 12, 15, 13, 12, 14, 12. So that's a cool lick. So let's come in there. Slide in 14, 13, 15, 12, bend up. Now if you notice those notes, that's the A note. Think of the A chord right here, but it's a minor lick. So check it out. There's my A minor chord. When I do that, you're actually kind of bending it into that major sound. Okay, now that kind of lick. That would be more of a major lick position 4. So that's playing off of this chord right here. So that's 9, 10, 9, 12, 9, and then bend up 12. And then I just filled in the gaps. 9, 10, 11, 12. Right, I bent this one up, which gets me into my 3rd right here of this A chord. And then I go to right here. Okay. So remember, if you like the video, share, thumbs up, that would be awesome. Okay, so next tip. What happens when you take those 2 magnificent ingredients and you throw them in the same pot? I'll tell you what, sonic bliss. This is my favorite thing in guitar, period. Hands down, endless fun. Okay, so we take those same ideas and we mix those 2 together. So let's concentrate. A major chord here, A minor chord. So what if we mix those licks together? Right when I do this, that kind of gets me some of the notes out of my D chord. Okay. Now, since that's the case, I'm going to take notes out of my D chord right here. And I'm going to bend it into one of the minor notes. Okay, and then that's out of my D chord right there. So those will sound good. Now over the A, we can combine both major and minor because I'm not doing a full A chord. Right? So I can use A minor. You got the minor 3rd from the A minor chord and the major 3rd right there. So you can do licks like, right? So that'd be 5, 6, 5, 5, and then bend up on 8B. So you can be like, so what I did was I bent up on the 7th fret a half step. Maybe do a lick like that. Right? And then pull it and get that tough sound. So you went sweet, tough, and then a mix. Right? Sour, sweet, shared. Going from a minor to a major note that they both A major and minor share. It's the root note. But that note could be either sweet or sour. All right, so we got or. So it's about, getting well versed in flavors. I keep using cooking references. Maybe I just made myself breakfast, so maybe that's why. I was throwing in turmeric and these different spices, and it's like, it all relates back to music. Okay, so they're just different ways of approaching it, right? But you got to see where they intersect and what happens when you combine them together. That is 9 times out of 10. That's what all the greats that we know and love, whether it's the I like or you like, I'm assuming since you're here, the Van Halens, the Stevie Ray Vaughns, the Hendrixes, Trower, all these great blues rock players. Now it's modern country guys, all the ripping Nashville session guys, the Tim Pierces out here. They all mix major and minor, and that gives you the great combination of melodic, maybe more pretty sounding or more, I don't know. Pretty's kind of, who knows? Okay, so let me reference it this way. Pretty girl, smiles, got a little chip on her tooth. You're like, ooh, now there's some mystery. What's up with the chip on the tooth? Was she in a brawl? Is she pretty and vicious? Or, if you're a girl watching, maybe it's the same thing about a dude, right? I don't know what girls think about guys, but, the same thing applies. There's a little bit of added mystery, and when the two meet, it's like, boom! All right, so let's go over some other ideas. So let's take position 2 of minor. Great minor lick. You're really working the A minor chord right here. Okay, that's an A minor chord. So that's just sliding into the root note. Right, this note's out of our A chord too. Now, interestingly enough, can work over this chord because it's got that D flavor. And then back to the root. But if we wanted to extend a little of that sweetness in there, we can do that same kind of thing, but bend from a sweet note into a sour. Okay, so you would go 8 to 10. And then maybe resolve like this. So that's minor third, major third of the A chord. Then you combine the licks together and you got a whole phrase, right? We had the like the lick we did in the first part. So it's, I typically come from a minor approach and then have major influence or go into the minor boxes, right? And that's kind of how I started to train myself to use both, because most of us as guitar players typically learn minor pentatonic first, so it's easier to work from a minor context, right? You take the minor scales because you know them really well, and then interject major into it. Even this little, minor third to major third thing. It's a great place to start. Or, right? And then sometimes what I'll do is I'll grab that blues note, and when you put the blues note in there, which would be if you're in minor, right? So when you add all of that together, you got major, minor, and the blues note. So that would be, and then I'm going to go, right? So that's 7, 8, and then right, and then you can tag that one down a little bit. So you're going into that major sound. You can do that same idea because this is the octave. You can do that same thing here. So it's just taking, you know, for a little bit there, I went into more major mode. And then into minor. So that would be taking that blues note in there. So this is more major pentatonic 2. Blues note. But this, even though it's got a major third in it, it still sounds tough. Now, you know, this is just filling in the gaps. So one of the things, you know, you hear the phrase color outside the lines. This, in this case, it would be color inside the lines, but it's music. It's not math. You know, the equations don't have to be 2 + 2 = 4. You could be like 2 + 2.5 = 7. And they're like, that doesn't make sense. It's music. It doesn't have to make sense. It's art, paint, whoosh. Some people throw paint on the wall and it's like, it's beautiful. $20 million painting. Other people paint the Mona Lisa. Both are art. Both are great. There's no rules. So that's the awesome thing too. Use it all as kind of a broad concept. You got major scales. You got minor scales, in this case, the pentatonic scale. But when you mix the two together, you get a whole, you know, awesome other, you know, palette of colors that you can use per se. And then when you just start doing chromatic stuff, when you're just filling in the gaps, that's a whole other area that can be amazing. Now, you don't want to land on some of the notes. Like, you don't want to be like... It's not going to sound good. But if you blow by that note, right? It sounds great. It's just a pattern. Right? Total simple pattern. No real rhyme or reason to why I'm phrasing that way, you know, sonically. It's not really, you know, you're not going to have a chord progression that jumps around like that, but but it's done quickly. So it bends the ear. It's like, ooh, that's different. That sounds cool. So really experiment with busting outside the box or coloring inside the lines. It's art. Remember, it's art. It doesn't have to be rules. As long as you're putting heart, heart, art, they rhyme, they go together. What? Come on. Just flowing. I'm freaking out today. I had coffee and iced tea, which is the like 1-2 punch into complete babblery. And so bear with me. But I'm excited because this is total awesome fun. And I'm really wanting you to try this because I think as guitar players, that's the sound a lot of us are going for, whether we know it or not, mixing that stuff together. Okay, so remember, if you just want to start somewhere, you can mix major and minor together. Here's minor. Here's major in that same spot. Here's the combo of those. Add the blues note. Right? Then you get riffs like. See? I mean, you're just having so much fun. Strings are flying. The guitar can't even take it. So that would be a good place to conclude the lesson because I can't jam without a string. So anyways, if you guys liked what you saw, by all means, share the video with friends. Like the video. Don't forget to subscribe. Click the bell button. That lets you get notified of all the new videos. To support the cause and make sure the free videos keep coming, brettpapa.com is how I make my living and how I'm able to share these videos with you for free. There's tons of stuff that go way deep into these concepts and techniques at brettpapa.com. There's also some work by my buddy Tim Pierce over there too. We're on the same site now, so if you're a fan of him, check out brettpapa.com as well. You guys are amazing. And then also there's going to be tutorials and other technique lessons for here. Thank you so much for watching. We'll catch you next time.